This is the focus on the cross for today, the 18th of August, 2024. And the topic is Carry God's Presence. It's not heavy. And my name is Anderson Agbugba. Then Moses said to him, "If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here." Exodus chapter 33, verse 15. Growing up, my parents, showing their seriousness, would drag their ears and, for example, say, "Andy, be careful. Any money you get and you cannot stand on the altar to testify for it is blood money." When I entered the university and entered student politics, those words will surface in situations, for example, when I am invited to collude to inflate figures for my financial benefit. I will recall their stern voices as though they were there in the room in real time, and I behaved right. Although they were not there physically, I could say I carried their presence. Carrying God's presence means acknowledging that He is present everywhere, that He sees everything, and even if we don't see Him physically, we know and recognize His presence in whatever we do, think, or say. If we carry His presence, we will be appropriately guided in what we do that people see, and even more so in what people do not see, that is, in the secrecy of our closets and even in our thoughts. One of my favorite Bible characters is Joseph. He was a champion at carrying God's presence. He was tested with power, with money, and with women, and survived all by respecting God's presence. In fact, in one of those incidents, Potiphar's wife and Joseph were in a private space. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? Joseph, carrying God's presence, knew it was no longer a private negotiation. "My master, who is absent, has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How then can I do such a wicked thing against and sin against God, who is ever present?" Whatever happens in Vegas will follow you back home. And anywhere you go, actions have consequences. But that is a subject for another day. The presence of God is one of the most important assets to the believers. No wonder David begged that if everything is taken away from him, that God should not remove him from his presence. No matter what is present in your life, if you do not have the presence of God, you don't have anything. In other words, you have everything if you have the divine presence. The Bible in 1 Samuel chapter 4 tells us something interesting about the Ark of the Covenant, which represents the presence of God. The Ark contained the 2 tables of stones, that is the covenant, the commandment of Moses. Even with the Ark, Israel fell to the Philistines. Why? It is simply because they did not observe to do all the commandments therein. They were a rebellious nation that knew the commandments, but were privileged and disregarded their own covenant obligations. Being called Christians, reading the Bible, praying, or coming to church does not in itself translate to our having His presence. Hosting and having His presence is a call to consecration, a lifestyle of prayer and meditation of His word, doing all that is in it, and maintaining a God consciousness. Another lesson from this event is that when a nation defeats another nation and captures its king, they usually consider it a total defeat. But in the case of the Philistines, when they captured the presence of God symbolized by the ark, it was jackpot. As we go about our week, let us ensure that the devil does not frustrate us or deceive us away from the presence of God. Even if we are in the lion's den, let us confirm that God is present. Even if you are in the fiery furnace, His presence will deliver you. Even if you are in the boat and there is turbulence around you and it looks like God is asleep, find rest because you are covered. No shaking. Wherever you go and whatever you do, just ensure that you carry His presence. Thank you and have a most blessed week.